So you're ready to buy your first home. Congratulations. Hi, I'm Rhonda Haran, professional realtor in Metro Atlanta for over 20 years. It's so exciting to buy your first home. This is one of the best financial decisions you'll ever make. It's exciting and scary. So I'm here today to give you 5 tips to think about before you start your home search. Number 1, hire a buyer's agent. This is so important, particularly in the market that we're experiencing right now. I know that with all the information available online today, it's tempting to go it alone, but I'm here to tell you, never, ever, ever go buy your first home without a professional representing you. So you want a buyer's agent who is representing your best interest. Most properties are going to be listed by another broker. That broker represents the seller, and so you want to make sure that you have someone protecting your interest. The other thing is a strong buyer's agent in a market like this is able to dig up off-market properties. So as a first-time home buyer, it's sometimes challenging to win in a multiple offer situation. And so a great buyer's agent can sometimes dig up off-market properties so you don't have to find yourself in that situation. A great buyer's agent will also put together a strong offer for you to help you win. And they're going to look after you and negotiate and be your advocate throughout that transaction and make sure you get to a successful closing. Many times, the work that's done between contract and closing is some of the hardest and most challenging. So you want to make sure that you have someone who knows the market, who knows the Georgia contracts, who has the resources to get you to a successful closing. It's just absolutely imperative. I would never go it alone, particularly in this market. Number 2 is go ahead and get your pre-approval before you start looking at property. This is so important. Years ago, we used to hop in the car and just casually start looking at homes. And then maybe, once you found your dream house, then you would call the lender and talk about what mortgage options you might have. You don't want to do that in today's environment. You want to make sure that you talk with a lender, go ahead and fill out the mortgage application so that you're fully aware of the full financial picture of what it means to purchase a home in today's market, that you're buying in a price range that you're comfortable with, both short and long term, and that you know how much cash you need for closing, what your mortgage payment will be, all of those things. And the other piece of the pre-approval, why it's so important, is most every home seller listing agent is going to be looking for that pre-approval letter when you submit the offer. It's almost impossible to get an offer accepted in this market, particularly if you don't have your loan already pre-approved. Now, pre-approval is different than pre-qualification, and we can talk to you more about that. Number 3 is make a list. I tell all of my clients, pull out a piece of paper and a pen. And I know that sounds old-fashioned, but it works. So pull out a piece of paper, turn it horizontally on landscape, make 3 columns on your paper. Your first column would be your must-haves in your new home, in your first home. So your must-haves would be things that you absolutely have to have or you're not purchasing that house. So these are things like price range, area, number of bedrooms and bathrooms. Perhaps you have to have a basement or you just absolutely have to have a renovated kitchen, whatever those things might be. Your second column would be your would like to have. So these are things that as you're out looking at homes, it's not a must, but if it had these things, it would really make the difference between whether or not you wanted to make an offer. And then your third column would be the things that would make it your dream home. Perhaps it's some additional acreage, perhaps it's a pool, perhaps it's a brand new house. So these are the things that may or may not really exist in your price point, but if you could find them, man, it would really be a huge win. And so by breaking up your criteria into those 3 categories, it helps you get clarity on your home purchase. It helps you sometimes just define for yourself what's truly important. And it will go a long way in working with your realtor so that they fully understand what's most important to you and how to help you find that dream home. Number 4 is use the internet, search for homes online. It's fine. Just don't trust online valuations, i.e. Zillow. So Zillow's fine as a portal for home searching. There's plenty of portals. We have one on our website where you can search every property on the market. But I see far too many home buyers, particularly new home buyers, looking at the estimates on Zillow and thinking that's what a property is worth, or even a range. And I'm here to tell you they're wrong. It's just not an accurate way to look at home pricing. Zillow uses algorithms, and an algorithm is exactly that. An algorithm is not a market expert. An algorithm hasn't been in the home. For example, you can have two homes in a neighborhood, exact same floor plan, same size, same square footage, but perhaps one has been fully renovated, and perhaps one has a full finished basement and the other one has an unfinished basement. Well, the finished basement, you just added $100,000, $200,000 to the value of that house. Zillow doesn't know that. The algorithm doesn't know that. And so if those improvements are made and they're not recorded anywhere, there's no way that Zillow could know it. And so those values can be off, not by small numbers, but by fairly significant numbers. So don't trust online valuations. And then lastly, drive the neighborhoods that you're interested in. Unless you're already living in the community where you're thinking of buying, it's a great idea to go out on a Saturday and just drive through the community, get an understanding of, the types and style of homes that are available, pricing, amenities in the neighborhoods, what the community's like. Think about the things that are important to you in terms of shopping and dining and parks, and just really think about the things that you want to have nearby. So that's a good way to really get to know the areas that you're looking in. Of course, you'll be relying on your realtor to help with that, but there's nothing like really getting a feel for where you're thinking of moving and deciding if you think it's a good fit. So those are some of my best tips for first-time home buyers. If you are thinking of purchasing your first home in the next few months, we would love to hear from you. It's one of our favorite things to do is to help new home buyers find their first home. It's just super fun, and we enjoy working with you and helping you make a good financial decision and finding a place to live that you will love. So reach out to us, and we promise to set you up for success. To keep up with our real estate tips, hit subscribe. If you would like to hear more in-depth conversations on all things real estate, subscribe to my podcast, The Real Deal with Rhonda, and follow us on Instagram. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.